Hey guys, Cam McLellan.
Hello Lewis, and g'day guys.
Welcome to today's Wealth Pod. We're finishing off part 3 of setting up your team, which is accountants, conveyancers, and today's brokers that we're going to hit off. Maybe Al can give us a rundown of a situation we were put in and when we were trying to organise the purchase of the property, and we gave we threw a broker a fairly large bone, and how that worked out for us.
Yeah, so we were referred to him by a friend of ours, and how it all came about, we'd made a purchase, as Cam said, and by that time we had a reasonable portfolio behind us both, and we sat him down and said, look, here's what we want to do. And he said, well, you'll need to put some equity in or put a property in. And we said, well, here's what we've got. Do you want to see if you can package it up, put it all together and do this deal for us? So we had a finance clause on our contract, as most people do. When it got to the stage that this guy had extended it 4 times, because he just literally had no idea what he was doing. He was out of his depth, and it was probably our fault, for, as Cam said in some of the points in the last few days. We weren't asking the right questions. This guy, we weren't saying, tell us about other clients, show us your experience, what have you done in the past, can you do it, blah, blah, blah. We just, because we had a recommendation from someone, went with it. So a couple of things we learned were, firstly, do your due diligence on everyone you're dealing with, not to take for granted someone else has dealt with them. But in the end, we got the finance through, but it's because we told him to go away. We went straight to a bank and said, bank, can you do this for us now? They did it pretty quick.
It's a good point. You'll, as a property investor, as you build your portfolio, you'll establish direct relationships with each of the banks. You'll outgrow brokers, and that's a fact. But you'll only outgrow brokers once you obtain all the information they've got. So then you can communicate at a reasonable level with each of the banks.
That's a great point,
yeah. When Felicity and I first bought her first property, and this property was pretty large. She was 19 years old and it was 2,600 square metres, and her dad freaked out because I've grabbed his 19-year-old daughter and said, come and buy this massive piece of land with a house on it in the outer suburbs of Melbourne. And we bought that house and we put 4 or 5 units on the back of it. Now, that was probably a pretty reasonable purchase. I think it was about 300 grand back then, which was the equivalent to probably a mil or a couple of mil now. But the broker I flicked it to had helped me out with a purchase in the past. Now, I got to remember standing on the beach in the Gold Coast, Felicity and I had gone on holidays on the day of settlement. It's 4 o'clock the day the settlement was supposed to occur. And I was literally been screaming at him for a week over the phone, insisting he do step by step and get this thing across the line. Now, we got finance approval and we finally got settlement, but it was very scary to the point, white knuckle sort of stuff. So make sure you understand if brokers are out of their depth. And
your broker can break you.
Your broker can break you or make you. So there's a check sheet on the website, guys, which you can download. But basically, a few things to go through. What lenders do they work with? Do they capitalise interest? How much involvement to prepare and review the documents do they have? Do they have a check sheet to help you prepare your application? Do they provide you with disclosure evaluations? Really important. Do they have the ability to contest a bank valuation? A lot of brokers just put their hands up and walk away. They don't care if one property to them is not a large commission, so it's easier for them to go and try for a new sale than to help you out with a difficult situation. So understand how much they get paid and how much your time is worth. If your situation is difficult, a lot of times brokers will wipe you and then walk away. That leaves you in a financial pickle.
What Cam said made great sense just before, guys, which is use your broker. You're employing him, you're paying him.
Yeah.
Use your broker to learn everything in his mind.
So
once you know everything, you can get the bank's paying. Once you know everything, you can go have that conversation with anybody. You can take that knowledge you gained, you can have a proper financial conversation with a bank, another broker, a business broker. The sky's the limit, but you've increased your ability to have those discussions.
Okay, so once again, any team member, learn the knowledge that they can give you, absorb it, and if they're still doing their job, great, and you've got confidence, great. If they're not meeting deadlines, so as you're going through the loan process, ask them what the deadlines and milestones are and hold them accountable for those. You need to scream, kick and yell to make sure that everyone is meeting those milestones. If you're setting up equity loans, if you've got a finance clause of 21, 28 days, you need that equity loan submitted within 2 days because you've got an 8-day time limit to get the equity loan set up. If you haven't got the equity loan set up to release some equity to pay for deposit and costs, and you're not running on schedule, you're not going to make your finance approval date, and you could be paying penalty interest, or worse still, that gives you a bad name in the marketplace.
There's some great brokers out there, guys. Dig around and find them, ask the right questions.
Best way to find a broker is for a referral.
Have a good day.
Cheers.